Hello again and welcome to our reflections for the day. Following the theme of the title of Paul Simon's song, Still Crazy After All These Years, with a parallel statement, Still Christian After All These Years. Today is about personal experience and personal discovery. Let me begin with some words by Jesus. It's from John's Gospel. If you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Amazing words, and a little challenge as well as an invitation to each and every one of us. Now, I said earlier in the week that Paul Simon's song, the theme about still being crazy after all these years, refers in a very real way to the generation, the post-war generation, the baby boomers, and of course the cultural revolution of the 1960s, where young people wanted to break free from the constraints that their parents were under and the way that they had been brought up, and they wanted to experiment, and experiment they certainly did. I think it's hard for us to imagine what a watershed the 1960s were. Not just for the music, but the music was an expression of that rebellion. And experimentation was the key term in these years. Not all for the good, it might be added. Now, every parent knows that they will often say to a child, well, you won't know until you try. How many parents have encouraged their children to go along to join a youth group or some kind of organisation or club or activity because they felt it would be good for them? But it wasn't the idea of the children, it's the parents' idea. And sometimes the children are reluctant at first to go and join or to take part. And even after the first few sessions, they might think, no, I'm not really enjoying it. But parents often sometimes say, well, stick with it. And then who knows what will happen. And often what does happen is through that perseverance of just sticking with it, committing to it, that the children begin to really enjoy whatever club or organisation they're a part of. And then they get so much from it. But it was that encouragement, that initial encouragement to give something to it, to stick with it, to attend and to see what happens. Can I suggest that the Christian faith's a little bit like that? Now, the baby boomers, by and large, kind of rejected the church because it was seen to be the faith of the establishment, especially in the 60s, and the faith of their parents, if their parents were church members. Today, that's not the case, with the church very much in decline, but it could be quite countercultural to follow Jesus. And therefore, any of you who've got a wee bit of the rebel in you, can I suggest you have a look at Jesus, because he's got so much to say to our contemporary world, and so does the Christian faith. So today, following the words in John's Gospel about commitment, holding to the teaching of Jesus, and then discovering the truth. And it's the truth that sets us free. I want to use the illustration of the caterpillar and the butterfly. Do you know that the caterpillar, I'm jumping ahead of myself. The caterpillar goes into the cocoon and its whole body dissolves and reforms. I was talking yesterday about miracles in nature. Isn't that an incredible miracle? The caterpillar literally dissolves and reforms, then emerges as a creature that looks very, very different from the one that entered the cocoon. In so many ways, Christian experience can be like that. We might tentatively begin by looking at Jesus, trying to get involved in what this faith is offering. I talked yesterday about the resurrection being like a door that can lead us to God's future, and that's what we're called to something new and wonderful. And resurrection yesterday was in the context of what happened to Jesus and the amazing foundation of the Christian faith with a glorious hope for the future. But it can also be a spiritual metaphor for our lives. And that's what I want to think about today. That in so many ways, reformation is similar to conversion. that we begin to, in following Jesus and encountering God through Jesus, we begin to see things differently. We feel differently. We understand differently. And it results in us living differently. That the power God offers us in and through Jesus Christ to transform our lives can be very, very real. So today I want us to think about following the truth, giving ourselves, committing ourselves to Jesus and seeing where that takes us. It's a journey. It's an encounter. It is a pilgrimage. So God calls us to follow Jesus. And Jesus himself said, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men," in the sense that we've become part of the wonderful mission of God to the world. But for that to happen, we've got to, in a sense, see things in a completely new way. So let that invitation be loud and clear to you and me to respond with commitment and to then experience all that God has for us today and all the days. Thank you for listening. I'll see you tomorrow, and may God bless you all.